Yeah, there's a number of things, middles, edges. I just thought that as a collective, you know, our intent around our defensive work at the start of the game wasn't where it needed to be. But what was there, like you've identified, was our willingness to scramble and work hard for each other. So you end up probably working harder than you probably would have done in the first place if you work hard early. And we just didn't quite have that at the start of the game. Tommy just pulled up tight in his hamstring in the warm-up and didn't feel like he could open up. And you know, when it's like that, you're probably foolish to take risks. So we had a very, very last-minute reshuffle and got some, you know, tough decisions to make under pressure. But we had obviously John Bennison moved to the right wing, Wonga moved to the left wing, Matty Whitley moved to the centres, Joe Batchelor came off the bench, George Delaney came onto the bench. So there was a number of changes after losing one, which, you know, whether I got that decision right, I'm not too sure. But it's a credit to the playing group really that, you know, they can handle that disruption and still go out there and get a result. Yeah, I think it was important. You know, you go in at 8-0 down, it's a very different game than 8-6, and obviously the psychological blow as well there in that instance. And you know, by no means did that help us win the game. It was just obviously you know, a good time to score and a good time to get ourselves back in the game. You know, given the fact that we've been second best for long periods. You know, where Belly's at his best, and it's similar to Morgan, is that if you're valuing the tough stuff first and valuing your defensive work, then they've got the ability to open teams up with the ball. It's just about getting the balance right there, and when they do, the pair of them, you know, they're very effective for us. We're delighted to have Belly in our squad, and I know that the playing group absolutely love him. He was voted the Players' Player of the Year last year off the back of that type of work, so that gives an indication of what the playing group think of him. And you know, it's great to see someone like James do well, someone who, you know, he bounced around from club to club a little bit, and then, you know, took a bit of a gamble in coming to here, and but his qualities really shone through, and you know, I'm really proud of him, and you know, the way he's developed as a player in the last few years. Look, we've got Ben Davies there, we've got Sam Royal there. They've been 18th and 19th man of every game this week, and that's probably, if you're a player, that's probably the toughest gig out of everybody in the stadium here tonight, because you're a couple of you know, spots off getting a game, which is absolutely what you desperately want, but you're also sat there really, you know, wanting to be involved. And I can't speak highly enough of them two blokes, because despite the disappointment of not playing, they turn up every week. They have you know, a real attitude around putting the team first. They don't let the disappointment show to the rest of the group, although I know as the coach they are disappointed. I want them to just be disappointed that they're not playing, but they don't let it show, and they don't let it affect their quality when they're on the training field. And you know, that's a real great sign for them too, as young men. You know, I feel that, you know, across the hall from us is a team that, you know, had a lot of good periods in that game. I think they'll take confidence from that. There's also a bit of a wounded animal, and I know from just being involved in the game a long time, they're going to come back and bite back next week. And you know, we've got to be prepared for playing the same team, but probably in a different game. And it's a different challenge. The Challenge Cup itself, you know, brings different emotions. You know, the do or die side of it is challenging. So we're going to have to look at the good stuff that we did, you know, fix up some of the poor stuff that definitely needs fixing up, but understand that next week it gets even tougher.